Welcome back to the Deanline Soap Herb Shop. I'm Elizabeth, and here at the Deanline Herb Shop, we do lots of natural things. However, I'm on a journey. I am fighting cancer. I was diagnosed with inflammatory breast cancer, stage 3, invasive ductal carcinoma. And at this point, this is week 2, second cycle of chemotherapy. And I want to share with you some of the things you can expect along the way that have occurred. And this is the day after chemotherapy. On this second cycle, what occurred up until this point is I'd had the bone growth, or what they call the growth injection shot, the day after chemo. And generally, they tell you to take Claritin that has an antihistamine in it that helps with bone pain, because most people experience bone pain and it's very bad, along with all the other side effects that you have. My experience with the particular bone growth shot or the growth injection that I got, you get that approximately 24 hours after the chemotherapy treatment. It's a timer on it, so you have to do it exactly 24 hours after the treatment. I took the Claritin the first couple of days, but I didn't experience any bone pain. Uniquely enough, though, on the 8th day, which is when you go back the following week to get fluids, I got the fluids, everything went great, and I had high energy. I felt like myself again. I felt wonderful. It was just good, and I just felt like myself. I had not felt that good in a very, very long time. So I encourage you that take the fluid. You will truly see a difference. Even though you're drinking and staying hydrated and eating, those fluids going in to your vein and replenishing your body with vital nutrients that's going to assist it in recovering the aftermath and the side effects of your chemotherapy are detrimental. So definitely take the fluids. Definitely do the fluids. You don't want to skip those. And but what happened is the day after I had those fluids, I woke up. I was actually wakened by bone pain. My back was hurting me so bad you would have thought I had pulled my back out times two. It was really intense. I could barely walk. I really had difficulty getting my legs to move and walk. It was really bad. And I honestly, it was so painful. A part of me thought, am I going to break a bone by trying to walk? And but after hours of putting up with that, and I had to the antihistamine, of course, and it's just one of those things. And antihistamine was not touching this stuff. No way, no how. But I ended up being able to fall off sleep. I may have even taken some Tylenol just so I could fall asleep. Once I fell asleep, actually that pain subsided. It went away during my sleep. So when I woke up from sleeping, I had a whole new set of bone pains. I had bone pain in my breastbone, the sternum area, the whole right side of my eye bone, and like next to my septic. That pain, but they were not as intense. They were more annoying, um, as the back pain was very bad. So the antihistamine is effective in at least making it bearable, and and you don't have to worry, oh my gosh, is this normal? Because it is, it's quite normal. Um, so the rest of my week, I got the most wonderful next 5 days that I've had since that first chemotherapy treatment. So there is a silver lining to look forward to. I am aware that things will progress, and because your chemotherapy is a cumulative. So each time your body has to endure that treatment, it's going to deteriorate. Things going to happen. It will get worse. So I'm just at the beginning. Um, so let me fast forward us now that I've covered some of those things. And I will tell you, if you stay dehydrated, excuse me, if you don't allow yourself to get dehydrated, if you stay hydrated, keep your liquids, keep your proteins up. Proteins are really important. I want you to pretend that you're almost a diabetic. Get proteins in you. and leafy green vegetables and cruciferous vegetables in you. Make sure your proportions of vegetables and or fruit are twice to three times more than whatever meat you are eating. It will make a significant difference. And for one, you're getting fiber, you're getting complex carbohydrates, you are getting carbohydrates within a calorie fortified mineral and vitamins nutrient benefit that you are giving back to your body because all of that's been like destroyed. Um, and then protein. Make sure you invest in like protein drinks, invest in like protein bars or make you some that are healthy at home, and just bear those in mind. Protein, protein, protein. But when you think of your vegetables, I want you to make sure that priority on your list are things like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and asparagus, arugula, things that are your collard greens, kale, spinach. As long as it's cooked, you're good to go, steamed or whichever. Of course, they want everything to be 165 degrees. If you're cooking here in the USA, well, your microwave will automatically do that on any button. Um, the so the main thing is to make sure that you're replacing those nutrients and those minerals. Also, one thing in my research that I have found, and my oncologist, when I met with her yesterday before my chemo treatment, was so proud of me. So they celebrate those things, especially when you're proactive in your care. And she was so tickled that I had purchased me a vitamin D. Now I'm 57, so anybody who is 50 and up need to be adding calcium and into there. It is actually a cancer cell inhibitor. It really truly helps guard against cancer activity because you got cancer cells all through your body, but they're just not activated. But calcium is one of those items that will guard against cancer, and mine happens to be the calcium. I do the calcium D, and I think mine's like the 500 IU. I will make sure I put a link in the description box down below to where you can find that. Mine are done by the Habak German laboratory. You can buy them on Amazon. The other thing that I introduced was Brussels sprout extract. You cannot get enough circumferous vegetables into your diet. You really can't, in your leafy greens, things like that, because that allows your body to produce P. The letter P is in Papa, Proud, Power, 53. P53 is a hormone that, or basically a cell hormone that actually, when that is present in your body, it kills off cancer. So it actually helps in keeping cancer from ever becoming activated. And the more P53 you have in your body, the less likelihood you'll have a reoccurrence of cancer should you have gotten cancer activated and you fight against it. P53 is something you need in your body that will help that. Now, I know I'm giving you some strange things, but you can easily look these up, and there are so many places you can verify that information. If you're listening to podcasts of these facilities and pharmaceuticals that produce supplements and or medication, and you're paying attention, they will educate you on that. I actually got mine from a podcast of is a supplemental company, and the podcast is actually being demonstrated by a biologist, a scientist, a doctor, a nutritionalist, and a man's testimony who, through his experience, he at one time, as little as 6 years ago, was supposed to go home, call hospice, put his affairs in orders, and they gave him approximately 6 weeks to live. He was eat up, his exams and all of his scans, all of his tests lit up like a Christmas tree. And so he wasn't supposed to be alive, but he is walking proof of some of these items. And it just so happens this company heard of his story, came to him, and asked him about these products, and this is what they use, and he told them how much he used of it, where he acquired it from, and so on and so forth in his regimen. And you may recognize his name. You should see a lot of information. His name is Joe Tippin. So I implore you to check out Joe Tippin. I will share his website where you can see those videos. You can find some on YouTube, but all of them are housed on his website. Um, he does have a Facebook page, but you have to either be a cancer patient or someone who is being treated by, or who's a family friend or something that's assisting the care of a cancer patient in order to get on the Facebook page. And the only way you're going to be able to get the password is to read the blog on his website. And then it is revealed to you this passcode if you desire to do that. But at least check out the website. His is mycancerstory.rocks. That's his very own website, mycancerstory.rocks. And I'll be sure to put that in the description box down below. I've learned a great deal of information from him, from the people that run a supplemental company. I'm calling it supplemental company, but they're actually scientists, and they've done all kinds of trials and testing and labs and things like that in the search of curing cancer, and they specialize in it. That's all they do, and they're out of Oklahoma. The products you will hear them talk about are from the Onco Corporation. That's them, and they're called like Path 1, 2, 3, and now they've developed a fourth. Um, and if you are a cancer patient, or you are trying to maintain maybe your um, um, NSD, no sign of disease, there's a certain one that you would take. So just check it out. You'll love the information, and you're not going to get bored. If you're at the point in your juncture in your journey with your cancer, or you just find out you got cancer, or you're first being treated, you are thirsty for knowledge and information. You're out there seeking it the same as me. You cannot get enough of it. You live, sleep, drink it. And when I am not chronically fatigued from my treatment, I'm reading everything I can get my hands on. I'm viewing every video I can watch. And that's where I just seen there was an area of need here with inflammatory breast cancer, also shortened as IBC, on YouTube. And that's why I decided to take you on my journey. You just never know. And while I can, I will do while I can. And as much because I know it's going to get worse. And so I told my husband I wanted to make this video while I am still pumped up from all the steroids and medications they put in me yesterday. And I've just gotten that injection shot. So my oncologist was on board with connecting me with their in-house nutritionist and help you with your things that will help you food-wise. So I'll be meeting with them soon, and additionally making sure that she was totally okay that if I did not need to take the steroid after my treatments, I did not have to. So I got that okay right across the board. Remember I told you I just did not, I don't like the test results I've seen, and I don't want to take that. If I do not need it, I don't want to take it. If the Zofran can maintain my nausea, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm old school, so have you some oatmeal made. Have you some cream of wheat made. Put it in the freezer, put a label on it. Make you 2 or 3 in advance, because on those days when your fatigue is really bad, you still need to get your nutrition in you. And if you've already got that made in advance, you can put it in the freezer, pull it out, and pop it in the microwave. Or if you are, say, the night before, if you're a morning person, with me, I'm a all the day long person with cancer. You can forget about putting me on schedule. It's important that you sleep when you can sleep. And when you're up, you're up. And do not sweat it. Don't just get it out of your head. You're no longer on baker's hours. You're no longer on corporate USA hours. You just don't. If you're in a position that someone can help you, and you can just go through this chemotherapy and get through it without pushing yourself to work a job and do all the stuff and being exposed to many people, then do it. If you work from home, all the better, because in that way, when you're really struggling and having some rough days, perhaps you've got some paid time that you can use, or maybe you can change schedule with somebody. Anything, just trust me, it's going to turn your life upside down, inside out. You're going to spend several days you crying. You're going to have anxiety. Things are going to affect you, and those are going to happen. I'm going to tell you right up front. You think you got this thing. You think you're tough, and you think, "Oh yeah, I got it covered. I got the right attitude. I got all this support." Anxiety happens. Things are running around your head because you know you're fighting life-threatening disease, and anything could trigger it. Just a thought, maybe something you heard somebody say, maybe you've seen something on television. Your emotions are extremely heightened, and you're going to have your moments, and you will wade through them just as I have. I have Ativan, so there's times when I've had to take Ativan just to give me a sense of calm. It's not, Ativan doesn't make you sleepy. It just gives you a sense of calm to where you can, it actually combats anxiety, and you can kind of you'll push it back and get that at bay for you. Um, but if you're eating healthy and nutritious, that will help guard against depression. It will also help your body to recoup, so the side effects are not constantly reminding you of what the hell you're going through. Okay, and so moving forward, I went and had my chemo yesterday. So this is what changes between your first cycle and then the cycles to follow. On my second chemo cycle, they put the medication in me without dilution, so you get your treatment faster. And honestly, it saves about 2 hours time. Hour and a half to 2 hours time. You're getting your treatment into you quicker because they're able to give you the straight medicine without dilution. So I learned yesterday from the nurses that the reason why I was in a different pod, and now I'm graduated and moved up to pod B from pod A, is that is for putting it in you very slow. They did tell me to plan ahead 4.5 to 5 hours, and we really were there that whole time from start to finish, because there's a lot that happens up until you get treatment and then thereafter. And I was able to talk to my oncologist. You'll talk to your oncologist and or their PA every time you go. It's just part of the setup for the treatment, and they do a catheter cleansing and or maintenance and so forth. They call it catheter care, and that's where they flush it, hook you up, and get your pigtail going. Then generally the oncologist or the PA, either your doctor or the PA, will come in. They'll talk to you, go over things, any concerns, make sure that they address anything, check your side effects. They'll go over your previous blood tests, and they will examine you. They check your breast, and they may even take a picture, put it in your chart, and monitor it, because that's what they do up until they start seeing things changing and shrinking, and then you'll get to go take some scans and stuff. But up until then, it's always going to be physical examination, because you done went through the ringer with every test they could put on you, and there's just no need anything, because it's very expensive. Those tests are very, very expensive. So, like I said, my oncologist was on board with, if I didn't need the steroid, not to take it, even though it's given to you to help you tolerate the side effects of chemo, to fight fatigue and to fight nausea. They already put that in you before they put your chemo in you, and it lasts for 2 days, kind of like a double whammy, because they give you three. They gave me three different nausea medications because I'm on a trial program as well, so one of those is covered under the trial, and then the other two is part of the treatment. So I get all three of those going in, and it does last about 48 hours. You might feel some nausea, but the very next day you're going to be taking your um, issued medications. I have two nausea medications. One of them I refuse to take. She's on board with that. I actually turned them back into the pharmacy. The steroid, um, I'm not don't have to take it at all. And then the Zofran I do take. And I actually did have to take one this morning because I don't know why, but for some reason I was having a nausea issue, and that made me feel better. And I did take one before. had to go back to the clinic today to get the bone injection or the growth injection shot because I was struggling with a little bit of nausea. It's there, it's just so close to. Um, the I will tell you this: be prepared. It is true. Exactly 2 weeks to the day, my hair is coming out, and in your private area, my underclothing were full. So I had to cut down what was left. So I had a voluntary Brazilian, as you can call it. And I just used some little bit of argan oil to soften the stubble because it will keep coming out. You'll be completely bald. You'll lose all hair. And you could potentially lose eyelashes and eyebrows. Um, but my hair came out in clumps. So I will tell you this: be prepared for that because when you go like that and this big chunk of hair comes out, or all these hairs, it's everywhere. So take you a number two guard on a pair of clippers, electric clippers or battery operated, and go ahead and take it down because what's happening is it's so sore. It's so, I mean, it was so sore the day before yesterday, and I woke up and I was like, what? I mean, I didn't wake up. I just noticed it. It got my attention. I tapped her, bumped her, went to smooth my hair back. Really, I was running fingers through my hair. I'm like, oh boy, and it started here, and then got bigger as the day went on. I'm like, gosh, that is so tender. And I had watched this wonderful video of a lady who is the owner. Her name is Nikki, and she owns hats, scarves, and more. I'm going to put her website link in the description box down below. Every single item is especially made for chemo patients. They are all handmade. It's anywhere from turbans to these beautiful little hats. She even makes a chemo cap that she improved on the design that you can use to wear under wigs and or scarves and or other things to give it some volume and give it some fullness. It looks really good. Um, but I will tell you that you'll go ahead and cut it down with a number two guard, and it's going to be the height that mine is now. Then make sure you bathe and shower. When you shower and wash your scalp with shampoo, that's very important because what that does is number one, it cleanses the scalp, and you are going to have an excess of oils and stuff that have populated to your hair. So you will find that even from your first chemo treatment of the type of chemo that I'm taking, where I'd already been told that I would most likely that it's a given, you're going to lose your body hair. And those are the first places it comes off of is usually your private area and your scalp. And most people notice it on their scalp more so, but I noticed it in both places because I was itching and went to the restroom only to find that it was all in my underpants, and so I had to do something right then. And then after I cleaned up and was getting ready to get in the shower, I always run my hands through my hair, and piles of hair come out in my hands. Kind of freak you out a little bit, kind of like a horror movie, but you'll get past it. You'll be fine because I trimmed mine down a little bit to make it more manageable. But yep, right on the money, exactly 2 weeks to the day with mine because the day before was really sore. And now that soreness is not there. So it's going to give you relief. You want to use the number two guard because if you go all the way down, you can potentially get the bumps and break out. And, well, you got enough to deal with. You don't want that in addition. And you don't want that oils pulling into little bumps and breaking out on you. So do a number two guard and, cut it down. Make sure you use shampoo, wash your scalp, scrub it up real good, lather them, rinse that, and then of course it's just a matter of run a towel over it and pat dry. I mean, there's not much to it then. Then get you a lint roller brush. The sticky adhesive is the best, and roll it all about your head, and just keep doing that until you get as much as you see it's going to take off, and just keep that lint roller handy so you can roll it across your head because you more and more by the time I'd say by the end of this week I will be completely bald, and you're going to look really pitiful, very, very well, you will really look like someone who is fighting cancer. You'll look sick. Concentration camp, Ethiopian, you'll look really rough. And but just bear this in mind. Accessories. It's just lipstick and rouge, baby. Lipstick and rouge. And women have the power to do that. We have the ability that we can go in there and we can put some concealer under our eyes because your dark spots will occur around your eyes. It's not uncommon for chemo patients. They get that dead, walking dead look with the dark rings around their eyes. I inherently have that anyway, so the fact that my body is sick and I am bouting, it's twice as dark. So I really look bad. And I have my concealer on. I use Paleto, which is the pink. You probably heard of it. It has the natural peptides in it. It's actually healthy and nutritious for your skin. And I will put a link down below for that if you're interested. It covers up rosacea and red just like instantaneously with a little round brush. And it's so inexpensive. It's so affordable. I put on my matte lipstick. I put in my partial. I did break out this time again. The first time it happened to me, and this time I have new blisters and sores within my mouth. But the magic mouthwash is the ticket, is the answer to your prayers, and it will help you keep your ability to eat thus far. I put on my mascara. I curled my eyelashes. I colored in my eyebrows. I put on my earrings, and I even added blush. And I seldom wear blush anymore, but it gave me a little more definition because I'm so white, not being able to get in the sun and so forth. And you'll find that too. When I went to the doctor's office, I found how intense the heat was. Like, you just plain can't stand it. It's just so intense, and the chemo reacts to the sun. You know, the sun shining on you. You're just going to want a shady spot or a cool spot or get out of it. You're not going to be comfortable. I don't care that these hats and things have a sunscreen factor of 50 that you get from this lady. That's significant. And today I was like, I totally get that because I'd already read you'll have sensitivity to the sun during chemo. You know you do with radiation, but with chemo it's that way. And you'll so do just some things that you can do to safeguard yourself. My husband actually cranks the car and gets the air running before I even get out there because it really helps you a lot. Uh, Even though you may already have your car in the garage, don't crank it up, But if you park outside like we do, that's a good idea to have that running before you get in it on these hot days. We're having 90 something degree weather. We're having heat index of 106. So 106 heat index is not comfortable on a chemo patient. And we were coming late evening, so 4 o'clock's your hottest part of the day in North Carolina. Um, but then, you'll have that. Honestly, I was glad to see that my hair was coming out because then that part of me said, oh, the chemo is working. Because I had my doubts. I thought, well, I might actually keep my hair. And they already told me, no, no, no. And then when it wasn't coming out, I thought, oh my gosh, it's not working. What's wrong, And when it hit that second week and to the very 14th day, actually, it started to irritate me on the 13th day, but on the very 14th day, boom, that was gone. By, just yesterday's treatment was enough to push that on over. So by the end of the night, I mean, after chemo, it was clumps. And so, it's just lipstick and rouge. And, put on your beautiful earrings. If you have loved ones, my husband has bought me some beautiful covers for my head. I of course got the sleep caps because I know when I get bald, I'm going to need something on me. Because before I ever lost hair, even when I had short hair, it's not uncommon for me to be sitting here in the house and put something across my shoulders. The rest of me's fine. I stay warm and everything, but anything across the back of my neck and top of my shoulders, I've always had to keep them covered. They get cold and makes me ache, and I just always want a hoodie, something that's coming up around my neck and shoulders. I do not like cold shoulders, and they just make you hurt, and especially when you get in our age group. It's not that you're because you'll be roasting the rest of the time, but you do want some kind of cover to cool in the evening. even in the summertime. Um, but you know, fix it up. Like my girlfriend sent me a care package, and this is my fight hat. She sent me a fight cap. I'm not a person that wears caps. Back in the day when I was growing up and hanging out with my dad and I was being a grease monkey and all, oh, I loved to wear caps and I just thought they were cool. And then when they came in the style, I looked at those girls and I thought, you have no idea how unattractive you look. I don't care how cute your hat is, it just doesn't suit you. There are some people who are not cut out to wear hats or caps. Um, but they would look great in a wrap or a turban. And he bought me some of the baggy turbans. They are beautiful, super soft. The sleep caps are really good for you when you start, when your hair's losing. And I gotten those from Amazon. I'll share links to all that below. Another thing that you want to maybe consider, if you get the catheter, if you end up with a catheter, and trust me, it's going to be, oh, this thing has fretted me, but now it's just like normal. Like I do better. I just learned that when I lay on my left side, I have to do it temporarily. And so I have to favor my right. And since this is softened, that's been okay. But these are little Velcro pockets that you slide over top of your bra strap that will lay on the catheter, and they're soft. And I'm telling you, I'm so tickled. He gave me early birthday gifts. And he had looked, I had seen them and I thought, oh, I can make that. Well, what I'm going through, I'm not making much of anything, guys. But I'll look these up and put a link. Maybe you have a friend that can make some, but you just Velcro it across your bra strap, and and also it comes in a 2-pack. So what's really good about that is if you are driving, you need a catheter cover, a padded catheter cover just like this to keep the seat belt from hitting the catheter. You do not want to be hitting or rubbing on that catheter at all. You don't want nothing laying on it or pressing on it. So this little pillow, what you call bra strap pillow, or I think they might call it a catheter pillow. It has 2 different Velcro straps, and you can just slide it in there, Velcro across it, and then that way, if you're driving and your seatbelt comes across, it will not be hitting that catheter. It'll protect it, and you definitely want that. Um, Other things that to bear in mind, like I was saying before, is when they issue you medications, they put you on a regimen and frequency, and they advise you this is what you take. Most of those are very optional. So the Zofran for me, I ended up having to take last night or early this morning, because I had been fighting through the night with nausea, even though it was almost like, I don't know if it was where they give me the full-fledged undiluted medicine yesterday. Um, but I did end up having to look to that medication to get me through, and I, of course, took it first thing today. And I'll make sure I take another one in 8 hours, because that lasts for 8 hours. Um, and then on the growth shot injection that I got, it's always in the fatty tissue. They put it on the back side of your arm. They'll ask you which one you want to do, left or right. Since I did right last time, they did it on the left this time. And so I'll probably just go back and forth that. I only got 2 more to go on that. It only happens with this erythromycin and stuff that I'm doing here at the beginning. The really strong, the Red Devil and all. That's when you need that, because it's the most heavy dutyest chemotherapy you can be administered, and it is whoa, seriously. And then I will be on Taxon on my 12-week journey, and I'll be telling y'all about that stuff, guys. So in the meantime, take care of yourself. Make sure that you eat when you're hungry. Eat small meals. Please do not try to think I can do 3 meals like I've always done. Do my little snack, or 2 meals and fast. Fasting is the worst thing that you can do when you're on chemo, unless you're so nauseated and sickly that you simply just cannot get nothing down. Try to at least get water in you, or lemon squirted in water. Try to get your body to start agreeing. If you can get weight in your belly, such as oatmeal or dry toast or saltines, It is so vitally important to keep the nausea at bay and to help you get through. It will make a gigantic difference. Then once you get that nausea to move out, then you'll be able to get some food in there and keep it down. That weight in your belly will keep that nausea at bay. Staying hydrated keeps the chemo diluted so that you can go ahead and secrete and urinate when you feel the urge, like immediately. Do not hold it, because you want to get that chemo out of your kidneys as quick as possible. It has less potential to damage your kidneys and go back into your bloodstream and damage other organs. So keeping the dilution of that and flushing out your body is extremely important. Other things that I can offer that uh, I feel are important is, um, I know you've heard it, and I'm going to say it to you. Being positive. Go ahead and agree to the chemo. Just go on and do it and just enjoy the process. They are there to help you. And if you have any issues whatsoever, remember you're in a safe place with your doctors. They've heard it, they experienced it. That's what they chose that job for, is to save your life. And you is a safe place. You can express yourself. You can cuss, you can cry, you can say whatever you got to say. And they tell you this is a safe place. You're safe here. You can say whatever you want and get it out of your system. Let someone who knows what you're talking about and what you're doing help you address those and move forward in your journey. Get you better fast. Get you cured and become a cancer survivor, which you will wear a proud badge. Wear your baldness proudly because you've earned it. Anyone that goes through this, don't cry about losing your hair because it grows back. I am a licensed cosmetologist. Girl, I ain't worried about it. It's going to grow back. And a lot of times it comes back in even more beautiful than it did before you lost it. And you'll be like, oh, wow, I hate I had to go this direction to get it, but this is pretty good. Some people end up having curly hair. If you had straight hair, they have curly hair when it grows back in. I've heard all kinds of stories, and people, the nurses tell you stuff, and I've made grand friends with those nurses. They really love you, and they really care about you, and they understand what you're going through. They get it. They know when you bad day, good day, they get it. You're in a safe place. It's okay to cry, be mad, cuss, whatever it is you feel you need to do. Be respectful, but I'm saying that you can express yourself without being judged, because they will not. I promise you, they won't judge you, and that's shocking for me because I've never been able to totally let people see me for how I'm really feeling, what I'm really thinking, and what I gotta say. And except for my husband, and even he's gotten like irritated in the past. Now he's been giving me passes because of what I'm going through, but he'll get on to me about cussing and stuff. So he'll see. It's still his job to correct me and keep me a lady, and not for me to lose my manners, even though I'm going through hell. But you guys keep battling, keep fighting. Write your journal. Make sure you're using a journal. I know I haven't spoken about that before, so maybe I'll do a video about journaling and how important it is, because I map out my journey in a journal. I write my diagnosis, what test said what doctor it was, how I felt about it, what I went through. The journal will help mend you. It'll help mend your mind. It'll fight depression. And it'll help you guard against anxiety. So, write in there, draw pictures, take photographs, junk it up. It's going to be your cancer journey. Do what you want to do with it, and trust me, it's all in the good of getting you well. Well, I've definitely used up a lot of your time talking on this video, and I'll try to keep it just as it is, and maybe you have the time to hear it all the way through. And if you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That lets me and YouTube know that you enjoyed it. And share it out with someone who might be helping a loved one or who's fighting cancer themselves, because the information I'm sharing with you would apply with any chemotherapy patient, even though my diagnosis is inflammatory breast cancer and basal ductal carcinoma, and hers, uh, two negative, ER and PR, which is estrogen and progesterone positive, and it's all on there. So we're gonna get to the other side one day at a time. You keep doing the same. This is Elizabeth. Until the next whatever I come up with and more to tell you and share with you, take care of you. If you need someone to talk to, if you want to contact me, my information will be in the description box down below. It is to my website, and it's just a safe place for you to gather that information without me blurting it here on this video. Until then,